This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Yeah, supposedly he sees that in the post office, and it sparks the big idea, and we know it's going to be a big part of his debut. But ahead of the debut, his signing is announced on the company website, WWF.com. What's the strategy in terms of sometimes we announce the big signings and sometimes we try to keep it a secret and give everybody a big surprise? Does that simply come down to Vince's mood at the time, or is that a creative decision, or how does that get decided?
All coming through Vince. He's trying to serve many masters, build up the WWE.com site, make it more entertaining and more desirable. I didn't like it. I thought we should have kept it under wraps, but we did it well enough to keep it under wraps that nobody saw it coming, I don't think, in Chicago that night. I thought that was a nice surprise. And with The Rock in the ring, cutting one of his, infamous promos, they're always great, entertaining. That's why I said Brian Gewirtz had a lot to do with that dialogue and the producing of that. He's always been Rock's guy and still is this very day. I saw where Brian was going back to, I guess they take the young Rock in Australia, I'm thinking. So anyway, it's up for another season, which is great. But I think that the countdown clock was a brilliant idea. He interrupted The Rock. If that don't put you on the radar, put you in the front of mind awareness of the WWE fans, nothing's going to. So I thought that was a great kickoff for him, and it was his idea. So all of a sudden he sees that my creative ideas are significant and they're being respected and somebody's listening. And that's really what all the talents want. They want somebody to listen, and they want to have the input on their own creative. And why would you blame them? Why would you blame them? So it was a great night there in Chicago. I remember the crowd. We weren't sure how the crowd was going to react, but buddy, they reacted big time. They were ready for Chris Jericho.
Well, this big countdown finally pays off in the middle of The Rock's promo. Boy, you want to talk about getting thrown into the deep end. You're going to go one-on-one on the microphone with The Rock. This is a real life test here, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, what is your demeanor? Do you look like you belong? Do you look like you're in the same level as Dwayne Johnson? And Chris had that confidence that I can be a main event guy. I can work with Rock. I can work with Austin. I can work with anybody. And he could, and he did. So I thought it was a phenomenal way and a fantastic way to introduce him. And he stood toe to toe with Rock in that little promo battle. And a lot of guys have been very intimidated with a full house. They're in Chicago. They're it wasn't Rosemont. What is it called now? Chicago's
Allstate Arena.
Yeah. So he hung in there, man, and he proved he could get into deep water and swim.
Let's mention too that, I guess we just want to add context. When we last saw Jericho in WCW, where he's frustrated with creative, he's beating Perry Saturn in a loser wears a dress match. And now he's interrupting The Rock's promo. That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, like sitting in the middle seat and coach, or getting that aisle seat in first class.
A private jet, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better even. But he showed he belonged. That's what we wanted. That's what we needed to see. Do you belong in the same page with The Rock? And he looked like he had been there forever.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.